Hello YouTubers and fellow hams. Down here at the bench, little update on the Marconi. I mounted it. Behind this wall is an old coal room. This house used to be heated with a coal-fired boiler back in the 20s when it was built. So there's nothing back there but storage. So I cut a hole in that wall, and I could slide that massive rack mount Marconi back in there and make it a little more manageable for the bench. So now I can use it. So we're going to do a video on that this weekend. I actually found I had an N connector to BNC adapter in my stuff. So I've basically got it all set up to use, and I'm going to bring a radio down here and make some measurements with it and show you how it works and what it's supposed to do. But the reason that I'm shooting a video today was I took a walk this morning, and anytime that I'm walking and I see where somebody moved out or whatever, maybe a tenant got evicted and they cleaned out a house, they'll pile all this stuff out on the curb. And I always look because you never know what you're going to find. And well, today I scored big. I found this. Now what is this? This is an HP T620 thin client. This is a computer, basically. A thin client computer is purpose-built. It's built to be a terminal. It's basically a full computer, but it's built to sit in a kiosk, like in a reception area of an office. You might see a touch screen, you know, that they'll have some presentation running on or whatever, or signage or you know, all kinds of other stuff. They need purpose-built small computers for that. Well, that's what this is. But what this really is this is a quad-core AMD processor with 4 gig of RAM, 16 gig small SSD for storage. It's got Ethernet, which is 1 megabit Ethernet, 2 USB ports there, 4 USB ports on the front. It has a headphone and microphone jack on the front. It also has line audio in and out on the back. PS2 connectors for keyboard and mouse, well as USB you could use. 2 HDMI ports, so it could drive 2 monitors. It has Radeon graphics built in on the AMD chip, and a VGA output as well. So it's a pretty fully functional computer in a really small case, and somebody just threw this out. Can you believe that? I found this in the trash. Yeah, the power brick was with it. It comes with Windows 7 embedded, which is a limited functionality version of Windows 7. I think kind of like the personal version of Windows 7. It only ran like 2 or 3 programs at a time for the user, so kind of limited. It booted up in about 40-45 seconds to a desktop. And then took about another 10 seconds before it let you do anything. So it was almost a minute of boot up. And, well, I'm not a Windows guy. I mean, I work in IT, I know Windows, but I run Linux. So the first thing I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to wipe it, and I'm going to load Ubuntu Mate on here, which Ubuntu Linux is a really good desktop. And I like the Mate version because the Mate desktop looks kind of like the functionality of Windows. You've got a menu and the bar across the top or across the bottom, wherever you want it. You know, it's very similar in appearance and functionality as far as feedback that you get. You know, programs that are open have buttons across the bar. You click on those to maximize their windows and stuff. It works in the classic type of a desktop, which I really like. I like the information I can get from that. The newer desktops, where they try to make them look more like tablets, they're great for people that just like to punch buttons and have things happen. I like to have some information and feedback on the screen. I like the old desktop paradigm. And the nice thing with Linux is I'm not stuck with whatever they decide, whoever they are, is the best desktop. I can choose the one I want. So I'm going to put Ubuntu Mate on here. I'm burning that to a USB stick right now. And then I'm going to load this up with Ubuntu Mate, and then I'll show you it operating. I'll show you what I found in the trash. This is going to be a nice shack computer, I think. I might replace my my computer at the radios with this guy, because it's not very big. Look at that. He's light. It doesn't draw much heat. It's silent. It has no fan. I don't know how noisy it is RF-wise. That might be a deal breaker. I run my netbook my netbook has 12 volts in for its power source, which is why I use it. I can run it off the same linear power supply as the radios, and that just completely eliminated all the RF hash noise that I was getting from running a computer, which mostly comes from these. These are horrendously noisy. And so I don't know how noisy this guy is. If it's fairly quiet, I might use this as a shack computer because it's fast, as you'll see when I get this installed. So I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to load Ubuntu on here, and then I'll show you the screen as it boots up, and you can see how it operates. My free dumpster diving computer, huh? So I'm getting ready to install Ubuntu onto this HP Thin client, and I thought I should show you something really nice about Linux. Okay, so I put a thumb drive in it with Ubuntu's image on it, and I've started it up off the thumb drive. Now I'm going to zoom in on the screen here, and hopefully we can capture this. This is the installer that comes up with it, and it asks you a question here: do you want to try it or install it? I'm going to show you something neat about Linux or the Ubuntu installers. If I hit try, it's going to boot off the USB stick to a desktop. You could actually run the operating system off the USB stick and use the computer without ever touching the hard drive. But I am going to install. I just wanted to show you something really nice about this. It's pretty boring sitting through a software install on a computer. You know, you sit there and you click and you have to enter data and you click and you wait and you click and blah, 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 blah. Wouldn't it be nice if you could do something like browse the web while the installer's running? So here we go. The system has started up off of the thumb drive. Now up in the upper left corner is an installer. I'm gonna run that. Let me close this little welcome screen that pops up. I'm gonna run the installer, and it's gonna open up to start the installation. And I'll have to do a couple of quick things to get it started, but you're gonna like this. So here comes the installer. What language are we using? English. Continue. Now bear in mind this machine is running off of the USB stick at the moment, so there's a little bit of a delay there. I want to download all updates while installing, so the system will be completely up to date. And install third-party software. This installs partnered drivers for various hardware and things. So it's going to install a bunch of extra stuff that you would have to normally go in and add yourself. It's going to detect all my hardware, install all the appropriate available drivers, special drivers for the hardware. Like if I had an NVIDIA card, it's going to, you know, pull down NVIDIA's official driver, things like that. So you want to check both those boxes. When the installation's done, you'll have a completely up-to-date system with all current software and drivers that are available, which is going to be most of them. So I'm going to hit continue to start the installation, and I'll probably have to enter a few extra things here before we actually get rolling. In fact, I think I'll just probably cut the video here and move ahead to the point where the installation actually begins. I'm going to have to enter my user ID, password that I want, location for the time zone, stuff like that. Just a few basic things that it needs to know before the installation can proceed. So I'm going to go ahead and move ahead in the video to the point where the installation actually starts. Okay, so the installation is now running, and we could sit here and watch it install, but I don't want to sit here and watch it install. I'm going to move that window off to the side, and I'm going to launch Firefox. I'm going to go browse the web on the computer while the operating system is being installed to its hard disk. How cool is that? So here we've got Firefox running. You can see the installation is still running down here. Let me move this down so we can see the progress bar, so we can watch the installation run. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to YouTube. And there's YouTube. So we could actually go in here and we could watch videos while we're installing the operating system on this computer. So that's what I wanted to show you. The installation is not going to take long. It goes pretty quick on this hardware. It's going to take maybe 10 minutes. But there's 10 minutes that I don't have to sit there and just watch this progress bar move. I could come up here, run Firefox, and go watch a video or check my email or whatever while the installation's running. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the installation, and then we'll turn the camera back on, and I'll show you how fast this machine runs when it boots up. Okay, well, the installation just finished and popped up this window that tells me it's done. So I'm going to close Firefox and hit Restart Now. And it is going to shut down and reboot, and then we'll see how fast it boots with Ubuntu Mate on here. It should pop up, and yeah, there it is. Remove the installation media and press Enter. Pull the thumb drive, hit Enter, and here we go. I've got the thin client set to show me a BIOS message. There it is. So the boot begins as soon as that goes away. There we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. Oops. Type your password right. And we're up. Ready to rock and roll. There we go. Plenty of software is loaded right off the get-go with Ubuntu. We've got some graphics stuff, scanner stuff, internet. We've got Firefox for a web browser. We can, of course, install other stuff like Chrome. That only comes up once. If I close that, it'll go away and won't show up again. We've got an Office suite, LibreOffice, completely installed, which is about 85-90% compatible with Microsoft Office. We've got VLC Media Player in there. So by default, you got a lot of software. And we can go and we can install other stuff, including a lot of ham radio stuff, FL Digi, things like that. They're all available. It's just a click, 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 bang. I'll probably do another video on starting with a Linux install and setting up ham radio software. If anybody's interested, let me know. So anywho, that's how fast this little machine boots. It runs great. This dumpster dive / trash pile find. This little HP thin client. So wow, well, I got a nice little computer for free here. I guess I'm going to go play with it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.